like to get you closer to the trading system itself. So I'm just going to make a smooth transition between the examples that I have given you so far and the real rules of the trading strategy that I'm using when I'm trading with supply and demand zones. And first, as I mentioned in a couple of the videos before, I'm actually looking for bearish and bullish traps along the way, and this is actually helping me to be a little before the other market participants. So it's in most of the cases this is an edge in my opinion, but again you should be very careful because with any other method this one as well hides its risks, and you should definitely test it on a demo for I would say a good 2-3 months with positive returns before you actually switch to a live account and excuse me, and try it out there as well. So let's actually take this example of the cable in the early 2018, and what particularly I'm looking for. So if you concentrate your attention just on top of the chart, then you will see excuse me, you see like a double top pattern here. So first the first thing I'm doing is marking the supply zone. You have this big green candle, and then you have the cluster that I've mentioned before, and once you do that, I'm also taking into consideration the close of those candles here, not just the high values. So if the close is taken as a, let's see, this is the highest close. If the close is taken as a resistance level, what I'm looking for is for the price to close above this resistance level here, and then once it closes above, then I start looking for a clearer sign. And what I mean is I'm switching down to the 4-hour chart. So if I go back to the beginning of the year in the exact same moment of time when this second top occurred, I'm gonna zoom in this area, guys, so you can actually properly see the candlesticks. This is actually quite crucial. Okay, so this is just happening in the end of April. Actually, for many of you, I share this this trading idea on my Twitter page, and as far as I remember, on my blog as well. So if any one of you wants to actually check out the link, you can either email me or send me a message on Twitter, so I can share with you the exact link of how I actually saw the situation when it was occurring. Because one thing is easier to actually see the price action after it has happened, but it's quite different to actually follow your rules, stick to your principles, and actually trade this pattern. So as you can see, this is pretty much the end of the green candles, is where the breakout happens, and then you had this rejection candle here, which is an inverted pin bar. So this for me was actually the first signal that we might see a change in the reversal of the trend, and basically this was for me the signal to go short. In case you have missed this signal, the daily chart is showing you an inside bar, and then what you can do is just wait for the close of this bar and then wait for another confirmation from the 4-hour chart. So what I'm seeing here is a very small supply area. I'll just mark it out for you and change the color so you don't mix it with the right color from the other bigger supply zone. So this little cluster here is giving us an information that this is an area rich in sell orders. So what I'll be looking for is for the price to actually retest this level, which happened here. Then you have an inside bar, which actually gives you an indication that you can actually short this currency pair. And as you can see, the next candle is a very large red candle, which led to further selling of this instrument. Then you have another cluster here, which which some of you might have considered or not, if of course you're following this trading strategy. So basically it's here. So you have another, like a double bearish engulfing pattern which formed just after this green candle occurred, and then as you can see a couple of candles only, and then a couple of big red candles which are continuing downtrend. So you have quite a lot of areas. Like here it's a range trading area, which also signifies an area of supply, which can give you an indication of where to sell. What I'll be looking for is a breakout above this level here, about the upper range of this rectangle, and let's say a bullish rejection candle of any sort, or a bearish rejection, bearish engulfing candle, which will give us an indication for further selling. But as you can see here, the price is actually pretty much locked between those two boundaries. I most likely wouldn't have taken any one of those trades according to this trading strategy, since I'm looking for a more sure sign of an exhaustion above the upper boundary of this rectangle. So if we continue further down, so basically here you have another cluster. This gives you another indication of where sellers would be concentrated. So what I'll be looking for is, again, I'll also consider the close of these candles, and if I see a breakout above them and a bearish candle, that for me will be a clear indication for more precise entry to the downside. In this case it didn't really happen, because those candles just touched this resistance level, and then you had a bearish engulfing candle, which for many of you would have been an indication to sell, but in this occasion I wouldn't have sold. And if we continue, the same thing happens here. So let's not forget about the fact that this is actually a major downtrend in this currency pair, so this makes things slightly easier than they would have been if it was a range trading environment. But still, guys, what I'll be looking for is, again, we have actually a very good bear trap, bull trap here, in which the price goes not only above the close of those candles here, which form the cluster, but also above the high of the green candle here. Then we have this inside bar, which for me is the best indication in this scenario to actually go short on the close of the candle. And as you can see, the price actually hesitated for a bit longer, and then we had a newer low level here. But you might be cautious, because in this case we have the opposite scenario. So basically, people who are looking to go long according to this strategy, you have a demand area here. Let me just mark it with another color for you guys, which I would have ignored personally, because we are in a downtrend. So I would have only taken the supply areas, like the one above. And this one I might have considered actually closing my position somewhere here, just to lock in some profit, but I wouldn't have definitely taken a long unless I was in a very aggressive mood, which I strongly advise you should be like more cautious. And but what I would have done is I would have been looking for the price to break up above this supply area here. So what happened was the price actually broke up above this level, above the again the upper range of this supply zone, and I'll be looking for a confirmation candle. So what happened here was, again, there was an inside bar. As you can see, this little green candle was completely encapsulated by the previous green candle, which is a great it's a great example for an inside bar. And directly after that you had this massive red candle, which is such a great example. It's just pure price action, guys, and it was followed by a bit more setting off. Then the price hesitated slightly because there is a small area of demand, went up back to this supply zone, and went directly down. I wouldn't have taken this trade again, because I'm trying to be quite selective and taking only the patterns which are considered to be bull or bear traps around supply and demand areas. So this was actually a great example of such an area. Let's see if I'm not missing something else here. Okay, if we continue downside, it's a pretty pure environment for short sellers. So here it also it's very important to consider the daily chart first, because I'm purely just looking at the 4-hour chart, but then apparently the daily chart is your major indication of those zones. So here, for example, let me see if I can find such an area. So this is where we were looking on the 4-hour chart, but from a daily perspective you can see another area here, which is again an area of supply, and what I've been looking for is for the price to go above this area, then form a rejection candle or anything that is confirming the bearish status. And this happened once here with a bearish engulfing candle, then another time here with another bearish engulfing candle, and this is a clear indication for me to actually go back down to the 4-hour chart and look for those more clear and precise entries from the 4-hour chart.